And then we have lots of gurus and guides and all these people who are, but this is actually human tragedy. Why I was smiling? I was smiling because in the following months, in the coming months, I will be also talking to you in much detail, more precisely. They're not just meant to eat shit and have sex and, just do for themselves. And who am I to tell you this thing? I am an inner life coach. My expertise for the last 250,000 plus hours with more than 100,000 people all over the world, all different cultures. I've got a huge experience with the youth and with people. And the most important thing which people miss out. Have you ever wondered why so many of the youth, especially who are in their last part of the teenage, they are going through unhappiness, sadness, and cluelessness? These words I'm not using from some dictionary or from some chat GPT or one of their similar versions. I'm using these things from the present day youth, not only from India, but from the entire world. I have youth who writes to me from Korea, from America, from Europe, from other countries, and also from India about how they feel so unhappy, how they feel so restless, how they feel that nobody loves them and nobody cares for them, and also that they feel clueless. Why I was smiling? I was smiling because I remembered those days when I used to be in the end of my teenage. That is one time when we all go through many changes, not only in our body, inside our body, in the hormones, but also in the mind. But most importantly, which nobody actually talks about, that is, spiritually. Spiritually, we go through a lot of turmoil, and these turmoils leads to feeling of those things. So let me give you one by one bifurcation. Let me bifurcate the whole issue and then tell you how to deal with this. And who am I to tell you this thing? I am an inner life coach. My expertise for, I don't know, for the last 250,000 plus hours with more than 100,000 people all over the world, all different cultures. I've got a huge experience with the youth and with people. And the most important thing which people miss out, especially during, physic involuntarily, during the end of the teenage time. And also this situation is also for many of those people who are, in different phases of life, because during the end of the teenage time, all human beings who runs on human matrix, like ducks, all ducks of a particular kind behave same, all monkeys of a particular kind behave same, and similarly all dogs of a particular GSD, all GSDs, German shepherds, behaves the same. A little bit changes, but except humans, we behave differently, and we are happy, and we boost ourselves to be different. And this is the good thing, but this is actually human tragedy, that we do not resonate ourselves with the human matrix, the human technology, the inner technology which we have. we do not resonate with that. And then we have lots of gurus and guides and all these people who are too greedy people to make their huge empires. They would come and try to destroy that human matrix which people have, the technology on which human beings must run, which they don't. So, what happens during that time, in the end of the teenage, and this, as I told you, this happens before also to people, or later also to many people. But during that time, what happens, as part of the human matrix, we go through a spiritual turmoil if we are not practicing, if we are not resonating ourselves with the human matrix. Like, for example, I'll tell you, like human beings, in this channel, you will be getting videos in many various ways how to decipher this, the technology on which human beings run. And later, in the following months, in the coming months, I will be also talking to you in much detail, more precisely. But let me tell you this thing, that human beings, they are not like any other life forms. They're not just meant to eat shit and have sex and, just do for themselves. They are not for that. Human beings have a bigger, huger, larger, reach. Like GSD would have a bigger reach than a squirrel. Like this, all life forms are, they are in various stages of spiritual excellence. Human beings are in the topmost. That's why you see most of the times all our gods and the various names, they all look like us. They all must be looking like us, unless it's a non-god. That's how people say. So human beings are supposed to be that spiritual being which must be, which is very important for all human beings to resonate with that standard, that matrix, human matrix. If they do not, if they are, if a dog decides it will from today start to, if like like if your dog decides that from today it will mew, it will not bark. Remember that the lion, wow, and it just meow, something like that. So if your dogs decides, it'll mew, not bark, or it'll sing la 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 la. Just imagine what the dog would go through, what the people around the dog will go through, what you will go through if a dog starts to sing like a bird or mews like a cat. You know, that is strange. But we human beings nowadays, in today's world, that we are like that dog who wants to sing like a singing bird, like a quail. So, or like mew like a cat. That's why I say, like, we are in a mismatch. And this teenage time, the end of teenage time, is actually, the point of meeting between the preparation time and the execution time. This end of teenage time is the midpoint between the preparation time and the execution time. And if our teenage do not resonate in their actions, with their actions, according to the human matrix, then our teenagers are bound to go through endless problems, endless sufferings. Even if, like, the other day I was talking to this 18 or 19 years old Korean boy from South Korea, and he was telling me that I asked him, why are you feeling this, why are you feeling that, you are unhappy, you are sad, and you are going through a difficult time? And you want to kill yourself, you want to end your life. Why are you feeling that? He says that, uh, because I feel like I don't have friends who understands me, who loves me. I don't have anyone who understands and loves. And then when I started talking, he started telling how his mother loves him so much and how he has friends. The thing is that, since we are not in the action mode of what we are supposed to do as human beings, like a human being is supposed to, the greatest thing which a human being is supposed to do is par opkar. That's the Sanskrit word. Means par means someone who is not related to me. Upkar. Upkar means doing something good for that person. This is one very important thing. Most people don't realize, even when I'm saying this thing, many of you would just laugh. What a nonsense this dark Indian guy is saying. But, I have experience with that. I have dedicated, like a doctor or a surgeon of a particular field dedicates his or her life for that thing only, study for that thing only. They are dedicated for that for years, for hours, with people, with getting information, knowledge, and so many things. So I have done that. I told you, more than 250,000. In Indian way, it is more than nearly 3 lakh hours just with this thing. And if I try to tell you in detail about the whole thing, this video will stretch so much that you will get bored. So I'm just giving you this one thing, par upkar, which I translate in English. I have translated it like so many years back. Like, that I was a naval officer, and like before I left all my life, before 25 years of age as a naval officer, and then I came into this work of, you know, I like my father was in military. He was a para jumping instructor. He was connected with all the army, navy, air force, and he has fought frontline in with the from 1962 or 63, I don't know, all the wars which came. And so I was always like, the military in India, military people, they are the most positive kind of people, and they don't care about anything. They just care about serving their country and all these things. And I wanted to do more, so I also became a military officer, and then I renounced it because that I wanted to do like more strongly and importantly for my country and for the entire humanity. So anyways, so I've dedicated my life into this thing. So be assured that if you practice this thing, paropkar, which in English I call selfless loving, if you could practice that thing in your life, then you will see how we slowly integrate into the human matrix. Human beings are not just, as I told before, they're not just doing for one, two, three, four, five things which any other life form could do. They are more towards serving. They're not just for, that's why these evil politicians, that you will see evil politicians, and we have seen it a lot in India and in West Bengal, without taking any names. And you must have seen in all over the world. Some people have seen, but they don't even know that. Like in America, people don't know that they are just like, they just consume what comes in the television or comes through the media, and they, it's just that thing. So anyways, so you will see that the politicians or the leaders who wants to, rule over you, they try to keep you away from that silence, keep you away from that, like, okay, my food is taken care of, my house is taken care of, my basic needs are taken care of, enough I have, and then let me think about the beyond. These politicians, they make system like that, that you cannot go beyond. You must, which started from the British way, where they all wanted to make, like in Bengal, they had, it was their capital, the Karani thing, the clerk, which is always looking for a job. The modern education system is always sending you to look for a job, not to look within, not to look, get inside yourself and, bring out the kohinoors or the diamonds which you have, which you are born with, which the nature, which the creator has provided us when we were born. That is why it is the same thing in India, it is the same thing in Europe, in America, in Korea, in Japan, in all over the world. We are just running for that food, that travel, that money. We are not going inside. That is why you need a inner life coach to guide you, towards your inner life. Because if your inner life is content, is happy, is rich, then everything around is the best. You don't feel the lack, you don't feel the void. So, if you are looking for being happy, content, and rich within, like I am, for the last 3 decades, I'm the happiest, content, and the richest within. I've been telling it for 3 decades now, 30, nearly 30 years now. So, if you want such a person in your life, like an inner life coach, then you can always hire me for, a few sessions or more sessions. I must not be taking money from you, but it is important that I take money from you for two reasons. One is for your being serious, and second thing, I do not use that money. That money goes into our selfless loving family, which we have in Kolkata and which we are gonna have all over the world, where all the people who feel unloved, unwanted, lonely, friendless, helpless, they can have a inner life family. They can have a family. There are many people who are part of this thing, from the poorest of the poor to the richest of the rich part of the world, and you also could be part of that. But if you don't want to give away like that, then you could hire inner life coach, and I could bring joy into your life and end your sufferings from your life in a holistic way and organically. Okay, so let us meet again in our next VlogPod. Until then, have a very beautiful day. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, don't worry. You don't have to if you don't want to. But if you do, then also press the bell icon. But definitely do this thing, that you send this VlogPod to as many youth as you could, because they need it. Bye bye. Pranam.